Hey friends, welcome to the Boxerville Homestead. My name's Carol. I have tried to do this multiple times over the last couple of years, and I'm finally just decided, with it being Vlogmas, I'm going to jump in and see what I can do, even though it's, I believe, the 13th of December. You will find often in the videos Sophia and Chance that just walked by. Not sure if he's in frame or not. They are both rescue boxers, hence the name Boxerville. My husband and I have actually had 13 boxers since 1989. We bought our first one from a breeder, and then found out how many of them are euthanized daily, hourly. People get them as little puppies, find them super cute, and they are. But sadly then, they're a lot of work, and they can be a very expensive breed health-wise. Anyway, on my channel here, I'll probably one of you that watch, you will find that we do a lot of stuff the old slow way. We garden hugely. I'm hoping to be able to find some clips from this past summer's garden and put in. We cook from scratch. My husband and I have been together 36 years, and we have always grown, preserved, cooked and canned from scratch at home. Long before it was popular to do so, it's just what we did. I was raised by parents of the Depression, so that's how I was taught. I knit voraciously. I drink tea. I'm a coffee lover. I love red wine. I love good food, and I love God and my country. I've watched a few, actually many, YouTube vloggers over the years. In particular, I love Parsnipsandparsimony. Amber on A Lovely Yarn is probably one of my very favorites. I really appreciate the fact that she is an introvert, as am I. I think I mentioned, and hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to get these little clips in from my day in a run. And I do mention, because I'm actually having another one, this tea, you guys, it's like the best in the world. Christmas in Paris, it's amazing. So I'm not sure how often I will post. I would like to put several in through Vlogmas though. Another thing during this, you will see or hear me talk about getting my tree up. Well, you can see my tree, it's fake. We live in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm just tired of the mess of a real tree, and I wanted a flock tree, so this is new for me this year. I went to put lights on it thinking we had all these lights. You know how it is every year. Most of them wouldn't work, even though I rolled them up individually last year, put them in separate bags. A lot of them weren't working, so hopefully the new ones will deliver tomorrow, and I ordered LED lights, so maybe by the end of the week you'll get to see the Christmas tree. I do a lot of crafts besides knitting. I can crochet, but I'm not very good at it. I'm a way better knitter, but I am right now trying to crochet coats for these guys. We are UW alum, University of Washington alumni, so I'm doing it in the old purple and gold colors because we're old when that was the colors back then. I also am a huge fan of Alabama football. My roots, Roll Tide. So college football, crazy about. Professional sports, nah, don't watch it. Also into drag racing. I happen to have an old car, 67 Chevelle Super Sport, so you also might get to see that at some point. Although it'll definitely be when the weather gets dry again, because I don't take it out in the winter. Although as far as being dry, it's kind of something that we just say about it raining in Seattle a lot, because we don't want a whole bunch of people moving here. It's really actually been dry. The last few summers have been super dry. Back to things that you will see a lot with my animals. My husband has a pet deer. Don't ask. He spends so much money on apples and pears for her. And she comes at a certain time every day when she knows he's coming home from work. She's wild, so that's not a concern, but she does come for her daily fruit. We have 1 chicken left out of the 8 that we had. This chicken out of the 8, Bernadette, will be 11 or 12 in February. Let's just say they've lived a good life. My husband built them a 2-story chicken condo, huge, with a sun deck on the top, a little on the ridiculous side, but that's kind of how we care for our animals. And as far as, I think I mentioned how often I would post, I'm not really sure yet. We'll just see how this goes. And if I can figure out how to get this or the clips that I've made into video format, any suggestions would be really appreciated. If perchance anybody does watch, if you could like, subscribe, you know, all the things, hit the bell, just to be able to get my numbers in there a little bit, that would be great. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I am a nurse, an ER nurse in particular, at least ER for the last 20 years. So again, with that, scheduling around when I can post is going to be another, you know, may not always be in the same day or format, but I'm hoping that once I get going, I will enjoy it as much as I think I will. As I mentioned, I'm truly an introvert, so being at home and doing things like this for me, I think would be a good outlet, maybe to get me out there just a little bit. It's hard to believe I've been a nurse so long and I mean, that's my stage. That's where I'm comfortable. I can talk to anybody, but then I really want to be home and I want my quiet time with my animals, with my husband, no kids at home. So it's a good time in our life right now. Anyway, if you got this far, I appreciate it. And I hope that you'll come back and maybe, like I said, leave a little note down there where you're from. And I hope you all have a great day, and maybe there'll be more tomorrow.
Sorry about this bit right here. As I'm staring at my watch, I couldn't figure out how to take it out, but that's how I was turning my camera on and off. So next on the list of fudge is going to be this Mexican cocoa fudge. My husband keeps saying, you need to throw some cayenne in the chocolate fudge. There is a bistro in the town that we live in that makes not a chocolate cake that has cayenne in the frosting, and at the very end you catch the hint of the cayenne, and it's amazing. So found this little ditty on the internet and I'm going to try it. I may end up putting a little more cayenne in it. That doesn't seem like a lot to me, but I'll taste it first and then go from there. I'm also using espresso morsel espresso morsel chips. If you can find these, they are amazing in fudge, like crazy good. I guess you could also substitute an espresso powder, which I do have. But anyway, cayenne, cinnamon, the evaporated milk, sugar, marshmallow fluff, butter, and I need to get some more butter out. Anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so update on the fudge. I ended up using probably closer to a teaspoon of cayenne in it because I couldn't get the flavor. Hopefully I didn't overdo it. My taste buds have not been the same since I've had COVID, so we'll find out. But we like hot with chocolate, so should be fine. I also sprinkled it with some coarse sea salt, and on the top, literally, maybe I took 1/8 of a teaspoon or less of cayenne and just kind of very lightly sprinkled over the top. I don't even know if you can kind of see it laying in there. Just to make sure it had that little bit of heat with the salt and then the sweet. So, let you know how it is later. Well, it's the afternoon. It's been a busy morning, and it's time for tea. This is like the best tea ever. I found out about it a year ago Christmas when Amber from A Lovely Yarn talked about it and how good it was, and I almost hate to recommend it because I don't want it to sell out, but I'm pretty stocked up, It is ingredients: cocoa shells, peppermint, lavender, natural chocolate flavor, and vanilla extract. And it is heavenly. To me, it smells like Christmas. It is a stash tea, and I believe this one is non-caffeinated. It's an herbal tea, but I know there's always a chance there's some caffeine in them. But you guys, it's amazing. Really super amazing. I say try it. Good morning and welcome to the Boxerville Homestead. It is coffee time right now, and I just wanted to put out a quick video that I am going to jump into the VLOGMAS. I am guessing there might be one person that watches, and that'd be my husband, but regardless, I'm going to do it. I've been wanting to do it, as I've mentioned in previous videos that I did from like a year ago, that I've been wanting to do it. And so, dang it, now I'm going to jump into it. Today, I am going to put the Christmas tree up, so I'll be back on with that, and just kind of take you around through the daily life of what's going on here at the Boxerville Homestead. I will have bread to bake. I do bake our bread every week, and some house mousing to do. First, coffee. My husband's been asking for fudge for the last week or so, so today's the day. I don't know if you can find these in your area, but these espresso chips are so good in fudge. It has that tiny bit of coffee flavor, and even though like the fantasy fudge recipe calls for unsalted butter, with this I use the salted butter, and sometimes I'll even sprinkle a little coarse salt on the top of it right before it sets. So that's really good too. Anyways, I'm going to take you kind of through the motions of making this. So in here, butter, sugar, and the evaporated milk. And I know the recipe calls on the fantasy fudges to go for 5 minutes once it reaches the boil. I still use my candy thermometer, and I make sure that it gets to 234 degrees. I don't want to put all of this, not that it's a lot of time, but it is an expense, especially now. So I am going to use my candy thermometer to 234 degrees. And then I will put in the chocolate chips after I take it off the heat, incorporate that, and then the vanilla and the marshmallow fluff, and then into the pans. So stay tuned. This is a little trick I do to get the marshmallow fluff out of the container, especially since they switched to plastic ones, I don't know how many years ago. If your spoon is super, super hot, you can get in there with that marshmallow fluff and get it out really easy. So I have my water kettle here, and I get the water boiling in it, so that I can easily just slip my spoon down into it, get it super hot, and lickety-split, it's out. No fuss, no muss. Okay, so chocolate, well, it's actually espresso with walnuts and sea salt on the top of this one. The last minute, my husband's like, why didn't you put cayenne in it? So I'm gonna do another batch with just dark chocolate and do a dark chocolate cayenne. So now we are on to peanut butter fudge. Well, I tried to add music here, but I think each time I'll add some of the boxers that we have had, and actually came the name Boxerville. In total, we've had 13. We purchased our first one and then started into rescue. We currently have Sophie and Chance, as I stated in the beginning. So I will put in each time. Thank you for watching. Happy VLOGMAS. Please always adopt, don't shop.